Time to talk Pegasus. Trust the Profits. This is the formula here, and we're going to be talking about the Pegasus World Cup Invitational Stakes for 2023. But first, let's talk about the last thing we spoke about here, Lecomte Strategy. How did Lecomte go? We had the safe pick as our winner, which got you a little bit over $4 on a $2 bet. Obviously a chalk winner there, but in terms of getting the exacta and trifecta, Tappett's Conquest scratch. So we had three horses there. All three of them ended up being in the trifecta, and our top two ended up being in the exacta. So as you can see, we scored 17 on the trifecta and a little over 8 on the exacta here. So once again, we got some winners, even though they are chalky this time around with Compt. Take what's given to you. It was the right call. Let's move on, though. Possible field here that we're talking about for Gulfstream Park. Pegasus. We got 14 horses entered in. This is going to be a race that's run on Saturday, January 28th. It is a G1 and it is 9 furlongs on dirt. Let's get started at the top. We're going with PROXY at the top here. Not the top pick, but the first horse we're talking about, PROXY. In 2022, never finished outside of the money. Last time out, he even won the Clark Stakes, a G1 race, 3 1/4 lengths over West Will Power and Folsom. It was only a 6-horse field. Going to note that for right now. Ran third in the Stephen Foster, a G2 race behind Olympiad and American Revolution. So losing to some pretty solid competition there. My concern is over traffic. A lot of the races that we saw PROXY have success in last year were smaller fields, 6 to 7 horse fields. What are we talking about this weekend? 12 horses plus 2 also eligible horses. It could be a pretty tight field if PROXY needs to be closing. He's got a lot of traffic to work with. Could be a concern. We'll put a note on that for now. Simplification, 13 races lifetime, 3 wins. Most recently, third place in the Harlan's Holiday Stakes, 2 lengths behind Skippy Longstocking, who's also in this race. 7th at the BC Dirt Mile, 12 lengths behind Cody's Wish, CYBERKNIFE, etc. CYBERKNIFE is also going to be in this race. Third place to Skippy at the West Virginia Derby a while back. The thing to note about Simplification, looked really strong headed into the Derby, had a 4th place finish at the Derby, which in that field is pretty darn impressive, especially at that pace. But we just haven't seen that same Simplification since then. Is this going to be the day we're going to see it? With it being so rich at the top, I'm a little bit doubtful, but we'll see. We've got a lot of people on the channel rooting for Simplification here. Riding with Biden is next up. 20 races lifetime, 7 wins. Last 2 races out, he's got wins. So this is a horse that does like to win. The Chris Kringle Stakes, 1 mile, 70 yards. Won that by a nose. Turkey Trot Stakes, 1 mile, 70 yards. Won that by 1 1/4 lengths. And he's had 2 graded stakes races in the past year. G3 Greenwood Win, won by a length, going 1.5 miles. So distance, not really a concern for Riding with Biden at all. Monmouth, a G3, the Iceland, 4th place finish, 4.5 lengths, going 8.5 furlongs. But when you talk about Riding with Biden here, we're talking about a Parks horse that's going to Gulfstream. We're talking about a horse that is not used to running against this G1 level of competition. So I've got some concerns about Riding with Biden. He is a toss for me. White ABARRIO, 4 wins in 10 races lifetime, winner of the Florida Derby and the Curlin Stakes in preparation for the Kentucky Derby, where he finished 16th. Since the Derby, the last race he had, the Cigar Mile, looked decent there. Looked pretty good. Looked somewhat like the old White ABARRIO, 3 1/4 lengths behind. You got a 3rd place finish in that race. But yeah, 3 1/4 lengths was right there. 5th place at the Penn Derby in a deep field, 7th at the Haskell, 2nd at Ohio, 1 length behind Tawny Port. Curious to see what we get for White ABARRIO, horse for course. White ABARRIO loves Gulfstream. That's where he was earning his keep in Derby preparation in 2022. White ABARRIO, are you going to be back? We hope to see you. Defunded. This is a Baffert horse, right? This is the one Baffert entry in this race. An interesting horse. 2 wins in a row for Defunded going into this race. G3 native diver. A 9 furlong race where he won by 4 3/4 lengths. That's pretty good. The Awesome Again Stakes, where I had him as an also ran. I did not believe in this horse going into the Awesome Again Stakes. He proved me wrong, and he beat Country Grammar by almost 2 lengths. Pretty impressive. Previous to that, wasn't so impressive, right? G2 San Diego Handicap ran seventh. Pat O'Brien ran sixth, so that's why I faded him during Awesome Again. I have a feeling though, Defunded working his way up, coming into form, likely pace setter, likely pace setter, in my opinion. Should finish in the money. Defunded, we got a pretty strong horse here. Art Collector. Whew, wins half the time. Look at that. 10 wins in 20 races, 6 wins in the last 8 for Art Collector. So really hard to keep him off your list here. Most recently, a 5th place finish at the Lucas. Losing to Hot Rod Charlie, Rich Strike, King Fury, whose name I spelled wrong. Don't tell me about it in the comments. Don't tell me. Put it down. Put it down. Backspace it. Don't tell me about it. I know I spelled Fury wrong. Happy Saver was also in that race. Lost to some pretty good competition, but at the same time, that's the competition that he should be beating. 2 wins in 2022, including Charlestown Classic Stakes G2 win over no one of consequence, really. Also, 2 length win in the Aladar Stakes, 9 furlong over a small field. Saudi Cup, 12th place finish. Interesting horse here. A lot of wins, but has also been disappointing at times too, Art Collector. Skippy Longstocking, 4 wins in 14 races. Last time out, won the Harlan's Holiday Stakes, a G3, 2 lengths over Pioneer Medina. Simplification and O'Connor, the last 2 of which are in this race. Ran poorly, though, at the G1 Penn Derby, coming in 9th place by 15 furlongs. Not so impressive for Skippy Longstocking, but obviously that rebound at Harlan's. Previous to that, outstanding at the West Virginia Derby, beating We the People by 1.5 lengths and Simplification by 6.5 lengths. Came in 3rd at the Belmont, 5th at the Preakness. This is a significant horse here, Skippy Longstocking. Get Her Number. 5 wins in 15 races, 3 wins in 2022 were all allowance races, all less than a mile. Last race came in 2nd at the G1 Cigar Mile, which was surprising to me, really. Came in 2nd to Mind Control, beating Zandon and White ABARRIO. I'm a little shocked by this for Get Her Number, mainly because we're talking about a horse here that mainly runs in 7 furlong, 6 furlong races. I don't know about jumping up to 9 furlongs. To me, that is an insta-toss for Get Her Number. Last Samurai. 4 wins in 21 races, 4th at the Clark Stakes out of 6, by about 7 lengths. And then rebounding in the lesser Tinsel Stakes, grabbing 2nd place by a neck. 2022 win at the Oaklawn Handicap in April, going 9 furlongs, beating Fearless by 4 lengths. Since then, been outmatched at the Stephen Foster, 7 to Olympiad, Mandalone, etc. Charlestown Classic came in 5th to Art Collector. Last Samurai, once you get up to these graded stakes races, looking less and less impressive. That's a insta-toss for me. CYBERKNIFE, this could be the class here. 2nd in the Dirt Mile, Dakota's Wish by a head. Really close in the Dirt Mile there. Ran the Penn Derby and Travers, but was unable to beat Epicenter, Life is Good, and Zandon. Solid competition. Winner of the G1 Haskell, G3 Matt Wynn, G1 Arkansas Derby. This horse has won 2 G1s already. Pretty darn impressive. Liked what he did in the Dirt Mile. He was close there. This is likely the morning line favorite, possibly the post time favorite. Brad Cox horse here. CYBERKNIFE, probably going to be the favorite. Stiletto Boy. Great horse, but outmatched. 3 wins in 19 races lifetime. He's always in the big races. Finished 5th at the Breeders' Cup Classic with Nick's Go a year or so back. Last one was the California in a G2, where he beat 3 horses wire to wire, including Express Train by 2+ lengths. That's the good. But the last time out came in 2nd place at the San Antonio, 4.5 lengths behind Country Grammar. Stiletto Boy, you're a scratch for me. O'Connor, this is the wild card here. The Chilean horse ran in 2 races in the U.S., a 52K AOC race, winning by 6 lengths. Impressive. But then he came to the Harlan's Holiday, and lost by 4 lengths there, coming in fourth place. Not still unsure what we have here in terms of an American runner. Big question is whether you can equate the Chilean success to success at a G3 race or even a G1 race in this case. O'Connor, the wild card here, could be an interesting one. The rest. So we got a couple also eligibles. Hoist the Gold ran third, 5 lengths behind in the Malibu Stakes at Taiba, however you say his name. Steel Valley Spring Stakes came in fourth place there at Mahoning. I mean, that's not going to cut the cheese in terms of this class of horse here. And then endorsed last out one GP AOC, but looked less than stellar in G3. West Virginia Governor Stakes came in sixth there. So what are we going to do here? No odds given at this time. And like I always say, this is before we're putting things through our formula. So this is all on pen and paper. I got CyberKnife as your winner. If you're going to start playing a box here, key in CyberKnife, but I also like DEFUNDED, Art Collector, and SKIPPYLONGSTOCKING. With the amount of horses we have in this race, you probably get a pretty good number on any one of those. So even if you do hit the chalk here, you should hit the board somehow and get a pretty good payout if it's right. That's what I have for Pegasus. What do you guys have? Hit us up in the comments section. Don't forget to follow us and hit the join button if you want to subscribe to our picks. See what those are like. Get either the Saturday selection or the full week selection. Anyway, hope to see you guys soon. Bye.